I welcome my guest again. Officially, this time, Mr. Keith Trinity Gardner, the Assistant Commissioner of Police and in charge of campus security. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Him just phone in there talking about the resumption of discipline.
Yes.
And it's key.
Which is very good, because indiscipline is almost rife in our society.
Yes,
and one of the areas in which it most manifests itself is on our roads.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the piece of road from Halfway Tree going up to Papine and Augustown,
yes,
the intense rivalry that you see among especially illegal taxi operators is cause a grave concern.
Yes.
And if left unchecked, will soon result in a major traffic accident.
Yes. I have to tell you though, all as I am, me make some special efforts over this past years and change the whole habit, and I behave myself much better on the road and all them with it, because it have to be done.
Indeed. One of the major challenges to the Jamaican society now is the carnage on our roads. It has always been my belief, and it has been part of my mantra in executing my policing operational plans, that if the criminals can't get to move, then we would have made significant strides in reducing crime. Because at any time of the day or night, traffic on our roads, a major part of all the traffic on our road, is either going to the scene of a crime, is either going to commit a crime, is either coming from committing a crime,
or witness something,
or actually committing. So they are going to, coming from, or actually committing. And you can think of ways in which crimes are being committed as motorists move on. Whether it be abduction, whether it be conveying drugs, guns, but the gist of it is that if we pay attention to the motor vehicles on the road, we can make significant dents in criminal activities across the island.
But I know that change for the better is not only a highly possible thing, but I believe that the nature of life is for life to get better. You know?
Indeed. And how can it get better? For example, at a macroeconomic level, at the macro level, the policy process must be advised by interest articulation and interest aggregation. And if you can
break down that,
the people who advise the policy process can't only be the great conceptualizers, as the late Michael Manley had indicated to the public servant. It must go all the way down. And when I think of these things, I remember as a youngster growing up in the inner city, where the policy process was trickled all the way down to the bottom. For example, if you look at how the socio-cultural and political processes were formulated in the 50s and 60s as a youngster on 3rd Street, Trenchtown, when Bob and the group were on the corner strumming guitars. Alternately, and Hortense was next door to me, where more tailoring took place on that veranda than actual singing. They used to have some little groups, you call them branches. And these branches were on each side of the political fence supportive of one or the other. But yet, closely akin to that were things that we call lodges. So on.
I was coming by.
When a poor man died, he had a big funeral.
Friendly society.
Yes, friendly society. He had a big funeral and big drums and things. We don't see that anymore. You go across the thing and it's only at a certain time that you see all sort of activities. So the small man used to advise the process going up all the way up the ladder. Now you don't see that anymore. It's a seasonal thing. And I'm saying that if you get more small people, we're talking about traffic and the public transport sector, it's a good thing to have the different organization, taxi organization, advise the process, and then you'd have some form of legitimacy because they themselves would feel that they are involved in the ownership for the processes.
They have a stake in it.
Yes, and then what would be important is that they would help to drive the process, they would clean up themselves, and they'd understand that, this or the other pursuit would be not only in the interest of the nation but their own interest, because we can't continue in this unbridled fashion. You know. I've known of a lot of instances where successive governments have tried to accommodate the public transport system. I remember Minister Phillips, when he was Minister of Transport, as is his power to do, had an entirely new aspect of PPV, a new class of license, right? The route taxis, and that got rid of a lot of illegal taxi operators because they were brought in the formal process. But it's like a recurring decimal, right? The more you clean it, the more it's like a sewer. The more you clean it, the more it comes down on you.
But you have to maintain it.
And it has to be maintained.
Well, let's go for a little break. Yeah, welcome back to Straight Up. I have as my guest one of those people who is becoming a regular guest, because you know that if your program have a purpose, it's going to take on a character, and there are some people who are going to come back time and again. I have Assistant Commissioner Trinity, Keith Gardner, with me, and we're talking some very interesting things. Now I want to ask you this. You have served in Southern Africa at a key time when Southern Africa needed some disciplining and some protection. The same people who need the discipline is them same one you want to protect them too. So you're doing something that is easy to be resented, but it is for them own good. But you are in Southern Africa.
Yeah. So it's actually Southwest Africa. I'm glad you raised this Southwest Africa, Namibia issue, because it deals essentially with one issue, and that is apartheid.
Yeah.
I go all around the world, and I hear intelligent, educated people referring to using the term apartheid.
Yes.
It's not. If you listen to Nelson Mandela, I've lived in Africa for a year, Southwest Africa for a year, and if you listen to the educated people in Southwest Africa, South Africa, they don't say apartheid, they say apartheid.
Yes, when I was a little boy, 56.
And I hear journalists saying it, and I hear everybody saying it. I'm saying to Radio Land, if you learn anything from Trinity, it's not apartheid, it's apartheid.
Apartheid, yes.
Right, so let us move on from there. We went down to Southwest Africa, Namibia, to implement Resolution 435 of the United Nations Resolution 435, I think of 1976, which was essentially to deal with free election that were free and fair, and election that were free from fear. So we went to sort of deal with the issues of victimization, as they call it in the Afrikaans, victimacy and intimidacy. Victimization and intimidation.
Oh, so you're allowing the African now to get a vote.
I can Afrikaans prat. I do speak a little Afrikaans, among other things. So we learned that along the way. But it was a very challenging year. It was a year that exposed most of us as Caribbean people to what the Africans there. There were in Southwest Africa alone. You had about 13 different tribes. Ovambo, Herero, Damara, and they have one they call others, right? But we force segregation. For example, in a little community where youngsters weren't able to read and write in any language, they could speak 5 languages because of how they were located. So you find that in one little community, about 100 square yards, you had houses, Herero, you had Damaras, you have Ovambos, and all the children would play together, and they would speak Afrikaans, Ovambo, Herero, Damara, and so on and so forth. So it was a real learning curve, very interesting, And then you were exposed to some sort of racial, slurs, because after a while you started to learn the language, and you hear people refer to you as kaffa. They don't know that but a kaffa is somebody who is is less than a human.
Less than a second-class human.
You have no soul, sort of thing. But we went there and we were commended. The Jamaicans really went there and made a map, because Jamaica before then had only been placed on the map by Bob Marley and so on. Peter Touch had a name there. Yellow Man had a name there. Matter of fact,
Jimmy Cliff, I think.
Jimmy Cliff. We came back. I came back to Jamaica for my family and took a lot of records down there. And it was actually the records that saved my life, because I was monitoring a Southwest African patrol along the border with where you had, what is it? Anyway, one